just waiting. We're waiting for Jason to jump in. And I'm trying to get the Facebook to share correctly, but it won't. Which is kind of frustrating. So I'm just going to have to post the link in the group, unfortunately, without a preview picture. Damn frustrating. Okay, we're going to jump in now. They're just going to get started for standard. Get some hands here. It's going to be Oliver King on the top and Jason Clark at the bottom. I may be joined shortly in commentary by Nathan Blewett, but he's on the other side of the world in Australia, so I'm not sure when he's available. Well, this is the second time this week we've seen this hand. This belongs to Jason. Red-white, I'm guessing it's the red-white approach deck. Is Oliver's hand here. He's on a... Oliver, who won the toss, is on a, looks like an aggressive red deck. Red deck wins, which we saw him play last week. I'm just going to very quickly bring up the standings here. Where are they? This is in the eastern, the so-called east, for lack of a better term. Okay, here we go. As it stands, Emerson Lardy is 5 points clear at the top, but he has played an extra game. He played his week 3 match earlier, so Oliver, if he wins 2 formats, is going to go back to the top. He's on 20 points. Jason is 4th currently on 15 points, so we see a turn 2 Harsh Mentor now. Jason can actually overtake Oliver if he wins 2 formats. As we see, he's got the Lightning Strike in hand. Jason can overtake Oliver if he wins 2 formats, and he can actually go to the top of the league if he wins all 3 formats. Whereas for Oliver, he's got to win 2 formats to go back to the top. Hush Mentor here. Excuse me. Hush Mentor in standard doesn't have as many targets. It's artifact, creature, or land. So, I mean, land is obviously fetch land, but is it Gideon of the Trials? No fetch lands in standard, obviously. So look at Oliver. Oliver's got 2 lightning strikes, but Gideon's going to be out of range of the lightning strike. Kenra cannot come down here, as he's in pretty good shape here, Jason, actually, because he's got the Settle the Wreckage in hand. I'd be curious to see if he wants to fire it off, or if he's going to even Ixalan's Binding something. He could cast Binding on the Earthshaker, because Kari Zev is a legendary creature, so Oliver wouldn't be able... Oh, that's aggressive. I think that's telegraphing to a degree. Now this is going to be interesting from Oliver, because we'll see if he picks up on that. See what he draws for the turn. He will pick up 3 lands here. What's he going to do? He's thinking about it. I think it's on his radar. The question here is how many lands does he want to get? Because, yeah, he's only going to swing the 1. Keep the Earthshaker around. Oh, I'm very surprised that Jason took that actually, particularly against the red deck. Now a shot can just finish him off. Yeah, you can see the shot coming down, so I think that was a bit of a mistake on Jason's part. He's going to Ixalan's binding now. He's going to hit the Kenner, and you can see Oliver's got one in hand, so that's going to be super handy. Oh, he's going after Kari Zev. He does have a second Ixalan's binding. The minor issue here for Oliver is that Jason's still at a pretty healthy life total. This is going to put him to 14. As you look at Oliver's hand there, 3 lightning strikes, it's 9 damage. No counter spells on Jason's side. I would be, yeah, I was going to say, I'd be tempted to fire off that Sweltering Suns now. Oliver's still some way away from a Hazaret, which is the other big haste threat. But a couple of missed land drops from Jason. There's Hazaret for Oliver, he can't play it, but we're going to see lightning strikes start to get fired off, I suspect. This is might change things. Is he going to lightning strike Chandra to finish her off next turn, or is he going to go to the face here? I like this play from Jason. He just gets the mana and then passes the turn, so he doesn't exile the card. I think we spoke about this in a previous match. So where's this going from Oliver? Yeah, he's going at Chandra, so he's going to finish Chandra off here. I think I would... Is he going to finish him off post-combat? Because... Yeah, you don't want to get let him have another activation there. We'll see what Jason's draw for the turn was. A Fumigate. So he's got plenty of answers, but he doesn't have... he needs to be hitting land drops now, as he'll pass the turn. For Oliver, he's 2 Bomat Couriers, so he's starting to build up. He can actually lightning strike, and then he needs that land for the Hazaret. This is going to be an interesting choice here. I don't know if he wants to sack any of those Bomat Couriers, because his hand's not too bad. No, he doesn't want to... Yeah, because he can play the Hazaret out here next turn. If he hits a land next turn, then perfect. Yeah, again, as Will, Happy Fun Time Live, he was playing on stream last night, is watching now. One thing I do every stream is I remind everybody that the stream is on a delay so that players can't watch live. It's about 3 minutes, I think, so I will take a little bit of time to respond to the messages. As Jason has a nice answer there for Hazoret. No more Hazarets coming down because red has no answer to enchantment spells. So the other binding was cast on Kari Zev. So we're not going to see any more Kari Zevs and not going to see any more Hazarets. But we are going to see a Glorybringer. And that is a definite clock. On Jason's side, he does have a Fumigate, 3, and he can cast Approach this turn. So now this is, I think he'd be tempted to go for Sunbird, but I think that'd be too greedy against a red deck that could have a Lightning Strike to finish you off. Yeah, so Approach is going to put him out of the range of 2 Glorybringers, because even Fumigate then would have still been a 2-turn clock. Oliver destroying a land now, so he's run out of gas here. He can Invigorating Rampage the Glorybringer. I'm going to have to duck away for 1 second. I'll keep this stream going. Just figure out how to mute my microphone. Yeah, my sound was off. I had to duck away for a minute and I muted it, and I forgot to turn it back on when I got back, so I just wasted my breath for the last 10 minutes. Inquisition here. Abzan, and I believe, let me just check Jason's matchup last week, because I think he faced Tron last week as well. Marcus D. Jason won his modern last week. Two games to one. Jason's actually undefeated in modern. Oliver lost week 1 to Tron, so he's been on Tron ever since. You can see we'll see the draw for Oliver here. Well, he's got the second Tron piece, so it's looking pretty good for a turn 3 card. He can cantrip probably green with Chromatic Star in the hope of either getting another piece or getting something like an Ancient Stirrings, but from what I understand, Ancient Stirrings was broken yesterday, so we'll see if that still works. I won't address that in the chat to the players because it might potentially be giving away information, but if that card does come up, I'll certainly mention it. So he's run out the Tarmogoyf into a potential turn 3.
Good morning, Matt.
Good morning. Who am I joined by? Bob. We're just currently in game 1 of Modern between Jason and Oliver on the group server. Two Tarmogoyfs. But you can see Oliver's got Ugin in hand, so if he finds that third Tron land, those Goyfs are both gone. It is a 2-turn clock at the moment. I'm waiting for this Ancient Stirrings. I don't know if Oliver's... okay, he's found a Sylvan Scrying, so he's going to have Ugin online next turn.
Check.
Yeah, it sounds okay. Let me just make sure I haven't muted anything. No.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Hey, sorry, I had my settings messed up. We're back now.
Yep. Yes, this is game 1 on the group server.
And they're doing Modern first?
No, Oliver won standard 2 games to 0.
Okay. What were they playing in Standard?
Oliver played Red Deck Wins, and Jason played Red White Approach.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's a couple of times you played it as well.
How was the matchup? Did Oliver just run away with it, or what?
There was a couple of plays there where... like, because Jason had Ixalan's binding and stuff, and I actually had to duck away to speak to somebody for a minute, and I came back and the match 1 was over, and I couldn't believe that Oliver won it. I'm gonna have to go and watch back and see how he did it, because I thought Jason had the match wrapped up. Yeah, and you see Ugin come down, so he's gonna take game 1. Jason needed a Thoughtseize there. 2 times.
Yeah, Abzan needs to get out of the gate and interact right away, or things aren't going to work out for them.
Tron versus Abzan. Yeah, actually coming into this match, Jason is undefeated in Modern. So he's 1 loss away from his first loss.
Hopefully he's got the sideboard tech to fight the Tron monster.
Yeah, actually, I was looking back through the list. He faced Tron in week 1 and beat it, so he's played it a few times. Who's this messaging me?
So you won all 3 of your matches against Tyler.
Yes. Legacy was super fast. It was over in about 5 minutes, but I got the modern and standard as well.
That's something that people may dislike about Legacy, but I actually really like is you don't have to be like stressed about a lot of things because you're just going to win or lose quickly typically.
Yeah, and I recall one match, and I think it involved Tyler. He might have been on lands. It took ages, like recording it. I was falling asleep. It went for at least an hour. But generally speaking, when I'm recording stuff and I think Legacy's coming up, it's like, oh good, it's only going to be another 10 or 15 minutes.
Lands online. I tried it a couple times. I just can't get into it.
Yeah, I generally play stuff that I only have in paper, so that I can kind of get double the practice. Legacy, I'm tempted to try something else, but I keep winning, so I'll stick with it. Still waiting. Okay, they're back in Julian, sorry. There's nothing in that opening hand from Jason that is going to beat Tron.
Yeah, that's just a hand of magic cards. It's not a hand that beats Tron, though.
Are you familiar with the Abzan list? He's mulliganed it away. Oh, Fulminator Mage, okay.
And it looks like
Push.
Oliver has a pretty straight start.
He does have two expedition maps. Now this is going to be the test. There's Ancient Stirrings. He's not going to run it out, so we're going to see, because Felix said Ancient Stirrings is busted. It doesn't work.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Now where's he going to go? Is he going to...
Have you seen any synergy with the Snowlands yet, or is he just putting them there for flavor?
I think it's just for flavor. Okay, here's Liliana, so unfortunately there are a lot of disposable cards in Oliver's hand.
Oliver's just got to walk up the ladder here. If there's not any hard discard, he's just going to win.
Yeah, I suspect, because a lot of these kind of mid-range decks have switched Thoughtseize out for Inquisition. And Inquisition would have been good to catch that Expedition map at the start, but it's a bit late now. And he's not going to get that Ugin.
Alright, let's see what happens here.
Yeah, this is the test. Oh, it worked. So he found a tower. That was lucky. That solves a lot of problems.
I got a power plant, you mean?
Yeah, I know. I was saying the fact that the Ancient Stirrings worked has solved a lot of problems in the group. Because that card's used in quite a few decks that people play.
Man, I guess he has one more turn to hang out.
Yeah, he can get rid of the Path to Exile here. I think he's got Fulminator Mage in hand, so he can slow him. I don't mind Jason's position here.
I think you got to go Rhino right now and get some pressure down, and then pick off the pieces. There he goes.
Yeah, because he can't crack the map this turn.
And he's actually threatening Liliana Ultimate, which will take some wind out of Oliver's sails too. Oh boy.
See what the draw was.
Tron players always running hot.
Oh, he's got Tron, natural Tron in hand. So I think what we'll see from Oliver here, he'll just play a Tron piece and then keep the map to crack for whatever Fulminator Mage is going to take. So yeah, dump his Tron piece. So he is still a piece away.
Right now, a Thoughtseize would not even a Thoughtseize. You can't even make him discard it. Disregard what I'm saying.
Well, a Thoughtseize would be good here because he can plus Liliana and Thoughtseize. Oh, if he's going to crack, he'll get rid of Sylvan Scrying now. Oh, he's going to cast Sylvan Scrying actually. But this is actually going to cause him to tap out one of his lands, so he can't use that expedition map.
Oh, wasn't even paying attention. You didn't cast the Siege Rhino, we went with Fulminator.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Like, Oliver's just thinking here, because he's floated the green, whether he should play the Scrying or not, but...
Hmm. Play Rhino, pick up.
Yeah, he can't crack that. He can't crack that Fulminator Mage until Expedition Map. I mean, Expedition Map is played. Liliana's at 6, so can ultimate next turn. So I think he's in an alright position here.
Karn down.
What's that? Sorry.
I said he played a Karn. Karn down.
Yeah. Well, I don't like this play. He didn't need to crack that Fulminator Mage there. Because now Oliver's just going to go and get a plant. Yeah, so he replaces the piece that was taken. It does buy him a turn because it means that he's going to have to take a turn to play the plant out. So it kind of forces him into... It forces Jason into ultimating Liliana next turn. When I think if he did it the other way, he could have got an extra turn so that he could plus it one more time.
Man, so much redundancy.
And this is kind of an awkward spot because, well, I think Liliana's going to split the 2 Tron lands, so he's going to have to take whatever Tron piece with the Blooming Marsh and the Expedition Map. See what he's out of cards, but three in hand on the other side.
And he has mana to, not that it's a next level play, he does have a Lingering Souls and Graveyard, the Shambling Vent. Okay, he's going for it.
See, that's why I don't like the play from the Expedition Map from Oliver, because I think there's a point there where Jason would be tempted to not minus Liliana because he might not think that he has Tron. But with the Expedition Map out there, it's certain that he does have Tron.
Yeah, and now there's one more thing to go into one of the sacrifice piles.
Now, so he's going to have to split the Tron lands, but then he's also going to have to put Expedition Map and a land in one of the piles, so... What's he doing?
Good play on floating the mana. Perhaps not a lot of people would remember to do that.
Yes, so this is not a good split at all because he's still going to have Tron next turn.
So, if our Abzan player would have attacked with Shambling Vent, then Whiskey Burn would be at 9. Still wouldn't be lethal next turn. Man, he's just in a bad spot.
Yeah, I think Jason's just dead here.
Ugin's initial loyalty is 7.
Let me bring that up. Yeah, I believe that's the case. Yeah, 7, 9, 11, and 10. So it's third turn you can ultimate.
Man, I really miss playing Ugin in Standard. It's fun ramping and just blowing people out.
You can see he's taken quite a while to come to a decision, but I think there's no good decision here. Yeah, so he could just, he's got, oh, he just drew the other piece he needed.
Oh my
anyway.
god,
Classic
this is unbelievable.
move.
Oliver has all the things. I'm so jealous right now.
Well, it's a 2-turn clock, but unfortunately, because he drew that piece, it doesn't matter. -4 on Ugin next turn. I thought C's off the top would save Jason here.
No, because right now, actually, that attack last turn is going to cost him the game.
Yeah, if he'd fired up the Shambling Vents, actually, he would have...
If he would, he'd have him at 9, he'd attack him down to 1, and the Shambling Vent would not die to the Ugin. He would be able to attack in for the finish.
Yeah, that's right. So he needs something. He needs Thoughtseize off the top. It's Thoughtseize or bust here.
Man, that's unfortunate.
Goyf will not do it.
Goyf does not change the numbers.
Well, actually...
Oh, why would you cast that?
Yeah, I was going to say, he didn't need to cast that. He could have just taken the hit from Ugin and then cast it.
Oh, no, what's he... Oh, no!
Yeah, so that might
that's
be...
That's just a free exile. Oh.
And there's no Lingering Souls hanging out in the graveyard, is there? No. I mean, Lingering Souls is useless against Ugin anyway. So he goes to 3, so this is going to be ugly next turn.
Oh, no.
Although
he did not know about his hand, though, right?
No, he does. We haven't seen any hand disruption. That said, though, he is at 24 life, and Oliver doesn't have an answer to Shambling Vent, so it's still a 2-turn clock.
Alright.
Oh,
just in time.
Oh, yeah,
no.
That would have been handy a turn ago. Okay, so 2 turns with the Shambling Vent will get this done. Oliver's got to find
let's get our composure together here. He's on a 2-turn clock yet.
Tron will also save. Khan will save him, and so will Ghost Quarter. But it's Oliver's turn to top deck.
Okay, good. He didn't attack the Ugin.
Yeah, that thought crossed my mind.
It's just one tiny click away.
He can't find it, so we're going to go to game 3 now.
Wow, that was close.
Yeah, he's lucky, I think, there.
I think Oliver's hoping he forgets.
Yeah, Oliver's going Reed Duke style. Make him play it out. Gonna call his bluff and fire it up and push it to game 3.
Shambling Vent. MVP. Wow.
So we're going to get 3 games in Modern now. I'd have to confirm with Jason, but in 3 weeks I don't know if this is the 2nd or 3rd time he's faced Tron.
Well, kind of like with my match the other night, it isn't always, I don't know, from the commentator side of things, you see the lines differently. You have, ultimate information. And
Yeah, and actually, one thing that I've noticed when I play myself, and this might sound a bit silly, but when you kind of talk your turns out to yourself and talk out your options out loud, it kind of can make things clearer for some people. I find that quite beneficial. Okay, they're back in now.
Well, if you're playing paper and you're talking out your turns, that may not be advantageous. Maybe that's a thing just for the league.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, we see the combo here from Jason. I think you keep this hand for sure. The Fulminator Mage into Surgical Extraction.
Yeah, there's no reason not to keep that hand. That hand's dangerous. You can do a lot with it.
One mine on the other side. Not ideal, but I think Oliver's got to keep that hand here. Oliver on
I like the opener here for Jason. This looks very strong.
And we saw in that game too. Oh, Maelstrom Pulse can answer a Planeswalker as well. We saw in that game too that he does have a clock. Like he can get down the Siege Rhino and the Lingering Souls. So it's not a dawdlily slow deck. We're going to see turn 3 Tron here unless. Yeah, so Jason's at the mercy of turn 3 Tron.
Wow, how insane.
Mine, Tower, Plant is what he's after. He's going to get 2 looks at this. Not the first time. So he's going to get a draw to... Oh, World Breaker. So he can't hit Tron this turn.
He almost battled out of this precarious situation that he doesn't even know he's in.
Yeah. And Jason breathes a sigh of relief, and I bet he can't slam that Fulminator Mage fast enough.
So how greedy are you here? What do you target?
I think the default is always the tower, and I take the tower because it was the second one played. So normally that just increases the chances that they actually drew it.
He went for the mine. He went for the mana that is up right now, and it doesn't even matter.
But the ugly thing of these Tron decks is that they can still win even if you cut them off Tron. And there it is. There's a surgical targeting the mine. Says there's no Tron. This is a flat out fair race.
And Jason does not have any way to clock Oliver.
Well, against the Tron, like we didn't see. This is game 3. I haven't seen any Oblivion Stones yet. So Oliver's got nothing to do until turn 7, which is a very, very long time away.
That's faster than what Jason's got going on. He's gonna have to pump up Vent. That's all he's got.
Yeah.
For Hero.
And of course, Oliver's got Fatal Push in hand.
Yep, that's gonna be gross.
I don't think you'd fire up the Vent at this stage of the game.
Hey, speak of the devil.
Yeah. That Twilight Mire can get in the green, yeah. And I think 5 clocks of the Siege Rhino will be fast enough. No, but actually Oliver's got, because of the Chromatic Spheres, will cantrip a Fatal Push, so he can actually get rid of the Rhino next turn. I wonder
oh no!
I wonder if this is a bait to try and get any Fatal Pushes out.
Maybe.
Yep, it worked.
He has in fact created a swamp. Single black mana. Shambling Vent down.
Well, this Thragtusk will be handy here, particularly he's one land away now. Thragtusk will trade of Siege Rhino. And get back the land from the Rhino.
Really, Oliver just needs to keep on ripping lands. He has some powerful threats in his hand.
Yeah, that's what I was saying with this Tron. With Tron, it's really gross that you can take it off Tron, but it still has that top end inevitability. And one thing I don't like about the green blacklist, and one reason I chose to play red at SCG Philadelphia is it doesn't have as much early interaction, particularly against more aggressive decks. So he doesn't have any sort of a sweeper like a Kozilek's Return or something that can buy him some time. But having said that, you saw the Fatal Push before, which is obviously one advantage.
Yeah, in the olden days, the red-green list played Pyroclasm, which did a pretty solid job.
Stirred for a power plant, so that's an untapped 5th land, so he can play the Thragtusk. Then he's got land 6. Oh no, he doesn't have land 6.
I've had many a miserable match being an Elves player where I was in that critical dump my entire hand on turn 2 or turn 3 or play around Pyroclasm against Tron. It's just not a good feeling.
Yeah, because we looked at Pyroclasm. The reason we went with Kozilek's Return was because we were playing extra. I think I was playing 2 World Breakers and an Ulamog, so it could get that trigger to do the 5/5 damage as well, which I never got to do anyway. Okay, there's a Sylvan Scrying, so he's going to hit another land drop next turn. Thragtusk, I think, is immune. He's got a Maelstrom Pulse and a Path to Exile.
Well, he has removal. I'm sure he's not going to be excited about the manner in which it lines up. Or you just keep on ripping Siege Rhino.
Yeah.
And do all the things.
Well, but actually here, he's going to Path to Exile that Thragtusk, so if Oliver can hit a land the next turn and he's on Khan, or Worldbreaker, I think you'd play Worldbreaker first. And once the Tron player gets to 7 lands, it pretty much doesn't matter that Tron's been surgical extractioned.
True.
Not
oh,
sure.
no.
No. That's your Khan answer.
He doesn't know that.
I mean, I think that's just a chronic misplay, because what else is he going to hit in this deck with Path to Exile that he's seen? It can't get any of the Planeswalkers that he's seen. Well, that Maelstrom Pulse can get Ugin, it can get... Yeah, and there's land number 7, so I think that is going to be a big problem.
I was hoping to see something white left up so he could cast Path if he needed it.
I mean, he could have played Godless Shrine untapped, used that to path the Thragtusk, and then he could have played out his second Rhino.
So, right now, it looks like Oliver is incentivizing 100% winning the long game. He is not messing around.
I mean, Sanctum to Ugin is going to come down. If you look at Oliver's hand, I believe he has another land as well. Oh, a third Rhino. I know he does.
They always come in packs.
2, 4, 6. So that's land 7. So he can play Sanctum, get the trigger to get another Worldbreaker, and a 5/7 Worldbreaker outclasses a 4/5 Rhino.
I gotta tell you, right now he's sending in 2 4/5s after this one gets exiled, and he gets a Path, a ground threat. He's got a decent amount of pressure now.
Well, here, if I think Oliver is just dead if he goes for a Worldbreaker, then he's just dead, because the next Rhino is going to put him to 8. He'll get the world.
Oh boy. Oh jeez.
Actually no, he can't play Oblivion Stone or he's dead as well. I think Khan is his only out here.
This is really just a pack of Siege Rhinos doing Siege Rhino stuff.
I think it's... Yeah, because if he plays anything other than the Khan, Path to Exile takes care of the Beast or the Worldbreaker. And then Rhino gets... because the next Siege Rhino is going to come down and do 3, so put him at effective at 8. 1, 2, 3. He'd be 2 turns away from playing Oblivion Stone and activating it.
I think he plays out the Sanctum. He uses the Karn to kill one of the Rhinos, and he hopes he rips another land to pop the stone next turn. He's in kind of a bad spot, just like that, because of all the rhinos. And he doesn't know that he has another rhino to deal with, and a path to exile for his ground threat.
Yeah, he found the line, and that's one thing you have to give Oliver credit for. Because I commentate a lot of his matches, and he just always seems to pick the right line. Very, very rarely does he make a mistake. So now back to Jason's in the position now where he can't take down Khan, unless he uses the path on that beast, which he's going to do. But this is going to get Oliver another land, so it means that he can now activate Sanctum and still have the 7-up. So I think he's pretty good here.
Yeah, the Siege Rhino's going to come down. He's going to clear away both of the Siege Rhinos, and they'll be left with Worldbreaker, and everything will be at parity.
And even if this Rhino comes down here, he can actually cast Oblivion Stone and activate it.
Yep. With that extra land he just received, he can play out his hand in a pretty linear fashion.
Yeah, so the Khan was a nice play. I think it's going to win him the match.
Does Jason know about the O Stone? How was it drawn or revealed?
Yeah, I believe it was from the... let me just read back. I believe it was from the green searcher, whatever it's called.
Yeah. Man. So you know about the O Stone, you're plowing the Rhino in.
Well, actually, another play there as well. I don't know if I would have swung the Rhino at Khan, because you're playing out Rhino, so you're playing out your hand. Khan was on 3. If he minused Khan, he would have died anyway. He could have played the second Rhino, and then he would have had... If the Rhino swung at Jason, Jason would be at 4. Oliver would be at 4, sorry.
Hmm.
I mean, having said all that, Jason's still at almost 20 life, but unfortunately we know what's in Oliver's hand.
Yeah, I mean, crap, a Path to Exile cleans that up pretty quick.
Well, the World Breaker is going to come down and get a Ugin cantrip, Sanctum of Ugin cantrip, which is going to find another World Breaker.
Yeah.
2, 4... I don't think you'd find Ulamog, because you'd still be 3 turns off. Okay, now... I think he's got to do this right now. Hit that Sanctum of Ugin while it's tapped.
I don't think he will. I don't think he realizes what's going on.
I suspect the thought in his head would be that he's still 2 turns off Ulamog. We can see there's the forest there, but generally Tron will play at least 2 to 3 basics. So this is going to keep him off. Yeah, he's gone after the Sanctum.
Good for him.
And I suspect as well that's kind of a nod to Ugin. He had 8 mana up for Ugin.
Good for him noticing it.
Now he's just got to deal with 1 World Breaker. So we have seen a Maelstrom Pulse and a Path to Exile, one of each, so he does have the answers in his deck. He just has to draw them. He's playing off the top of his... He's got 4 turns to do it.
Abzan is historically strong at just getting the stuff.
The other option here is Liliana Minus. We'll do it as well.
That's adequate.
See what he draws for the turn. A Rhino. Yeah, I don't mind that because it's probably going to prevent Oliver from attacking.
Yep. Oliver gets to cantrip next turn.
Yeah, but he can't 2, 4, 6, 7. Unless he draws a land, he can't cantrip into anything that he can play. Yeah, he's got an expedition map because it's going to take 2 to crack. And he's looking for things that cost 7 mana plus.
Oliver definitely has some very strong draws coming for him.
And you can see here the scrying in the map, it's just going to let him filter out all those lands from his deck. 2 Fulminator Mages down, so I suspect he's probably playing 3.
How many Thragtusk do you think Oliver's on?
I guess it depends if he's been talking to Evan. It's hard to say, anywhere from 1 to 3.
I want to see some sweet tech. I want to see that Siege Rhino get bounced for value. Like the good old days.
So he's going to filter more here. Yeah, you can play the...
Oh, man.
He hasn't
Clearing it out.
We haven't seen any Lingering Souls yet. See what... Oh, that's timely.
That's a pretty decent magic card.
Now, the other question here is, how many Shambling Vents does he play?
Oliver's going to lose out on the recursion of the World Breaker as well. That's unfortunate for him. It's one of the #1 things I see with people playing World Breakers. I completely forget you can bring it back from the graveyard.
Yeah.
I watched you do it in Philly. I was proud of you.
Yeah, well, actually, because World Breaker was kind of fringe, but in testing, it's just a beast against control decks. Because you can just keep bringing it back and get the cast trigger. That's why I loved it.
Yeah, they're pretty much on exile or bust. It's just too good to have it killed and come back all the time. They can't 1-for-1 it that often.
Speaking of which, Oliver's on pretty much Ugin or bust here. Oh, Wormcoil, that'll do the job.
It's cool. We're going to rip another Path Exile off the top, FYI.
Yeah. Or Siege Rhino will do it as well. Or Liliana won't do it. No, actually, no, it won't. Liliana.
No, it's going to split the Wormcoil in half.
Yeah, but I'm thinking because the Siege Rhino has trample.
Yeah, he's got a double block, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But he'll only lose 1 worm still.
Yeah, this is a pretty tense finish. 2 top decks in a row from both players evens them out.
Wow, I do not have the death touch half of the Wormcoil tokens. What the heck?
Neither do I. That's a bit strange. Maybe there's something updated there. So see what Oliver...
So he's incentivizing Oliver to attack with both because he can't just attack in with the lifelinker. It'll
yeah, and I think he can't afford to sit back either because Siege Rhino off the top will win it. So we'll see if he swings it.
Wow, it's risky. He's letting it all hang out on 1 card here. See what Jason gets.
Is Oliver just dead to the Siege Rhino here?
No, lifelink happens instantly. Actually, yeah.
Yeah, he's just dead to the Rhino because he'll gain the 4, but
up to 4 down to 0.
No, he's not because it'll put him up to 4. He'll absorb 3, and only 1 will come through, so he'll go down to 3. So he's not dead yet. See what he drew.
He bought himself a turn. Well, potentially 2.
Yeah, pretty exciting finish to Modern. Jason's undefeated, 2-0, and Oliver's 1-1 and Modern heading into this match. And he's actually back in the position now where the Siege Rhino can't trample over for the win. But is there any Siege Rhinos in the graveyard? Oh, actually he's got 2 Siege Rhinos in the grave. Yeah, Oliver says what a match it is. And there's 1 in exile, so there's no more Siege Rhinos coming.
Well, any number of threats from pretty much any side right now could do a lot.
Yeah, from Oliver, I think he needs to find a... Ugin would do it. On Jason's side, any of his removal would do it. See what Oliver gets for the turn.
Yeah, a little Karn action.
Yeah. Timely. Yeah, so he can actually... Oliver's entirely safe from Siege Rhinos. That's the last Siege Rhino down now.
Oh
And
boy, what changes this?
7-turn clock. Well, this is going to create an interesting choice.
I think you still have to exile the Sphinx.
Yeah, because the lifelink, he's going to get a draw, so that'll influence what he does here. But the problem with keeping the Sphinx around is that if Jason top decks removal, then it's just game over. Oh, another card. Well, that makes it easy.
Oliver is busy doing more Tron stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is just Tron doing its thing. Keep in mind as well that he doesn't have Tron. His Tron pieces were exiled, and there's a concession. So Oliver comes back and takes Modern in one of our classic matches for the season, 2-1. And
there was a point there where you know, both players had the opportunity to top deck to victory. One did, one didn't.
Yeah, it was, and I honestly, I thought Jason had a real chance considering the removal in his deck. He just had to find any sort of removal spell, and he was set. But unfortunately, that's Tron. It never gives you a chance. And even without Tron, you could see that he could have hard cast the Ulamog by that stage, if he drew it.
Jason had a good run. The start to that game was really solid. He did what you want to do. He took Oliver off Tron on turn 3, but the game just went too long. He didn't have his threats line up properly to do enough damage.
Yeah, and live standings, that's put Oliver back on top of the division now. So he's now 12 points clear of Jason. And that's how tough the league is. As well as Jason has played, he's only picked up 1 point. And Oliver's got 8.
Well, like I said during our interviews at the beginning of the season, it's extremely important that you scrap the points that you can, because they definitely matter at the end of the year.
Yeah, and that's what... I think I really picked up that point, what you said, and it makes a difference, particularly in my match yesterday. I had a really tough standard match against Tyler, and then I think he kind of I ground him down eventually and got over him in Modern. He took game 1 in Modern, then I came back and took the next 2 games, and I think that he was a bit demoralised after that, and Legacy was very quick. But like I took all 3 games, but it could very easily have gone the other way, particularly in Modern and Standard. Okay, so we're going to see what they're on Legacy now.
So what have I've played, what, 3 weeks worth? I've played 9 matches so far. I very easily, I'm confident in saying that I've lost 5 game 1s out of the 9. And I was really down on myself. I was like, man, I'm just going to lose immediately. I've won every single one of those matches after losing game 1, except for 1 so far.
Yeah,
don't get down on yourself. Don't get down on yourself when you lose.
What is? Oh yeah, actually, this is Jason's mono black. This is kind of a brew that he's made. He's always played this, and he's up against Elves, which is one of Oliver's pet decks as well. Yeah, I'm just looking at the standings. The Legacy that you lost this week was actually your first loss for the season. So you're still on top. So my clean sweep yesterday, I'm 4 points behind you, but Josh Grace can actually go outright first if he wins all 3 this week.
I believe, if I had to guess by reading the chat back and forth between Dylan and Josh, I think Dylan won 2 matches and Dylan won 1 match and Josh won 2, I believe.
Well, that will mean that we have a very interesting week 4. Is it week 4? Yeah, week 4. You two are paired up. So if Josh took 2 matches, then that means you and him are both tied at the top. So him to Turok gets 2 Nettle Sentinels. You can see Oliver's got that natural order there.
Yep.
Which he can play 1, 2, 3 next turn if he finds another land. And that will be Progenitus on turn 4.
It's pretty decent.
See what... there's a go for the throat there. And he's not mucking around. Gonna wipe this board. And just like that, Oliver's just got a Dryad Arbor.
How did Oliver lose his land?
Wasteland.
Oh, Wasteland. There it is. Ooh, I would not want to play against that deck. Barf.
You mean Jason's
just
one?
over there doing work.
Well, I'm interested to see if he runs out this Abyssal Persecutor. I don't know what the Elves deck has to deal with that. Obviously, Progenitus is going to have something to say about it. And I believe Progenitus flies as well, doesn't it?
I can't recall. Wait, one.
Because the plan here for Jason, like I've seen this deck quite a few times, is basically 6/6 beatdowns of the Abyssal Persecutor, and then when he's going to put in the death blow, he kills his own creature.
Progenitus, in fact, does nothing.
It doesn't have flying?
It just has protection from everything.
Oh, okay, so the Persecutor can actually fly over it then.
It's funny to say that. He does nothing.
Yeah, so this is going to be interesting. I don't think Oliver's got an answer in his deck to the Persecutor then. And I'm not sure with regards to magic rules. You can perhaps enlighten us here. You can see all of these things are just creature land. So if he had a sweeper, it would be a disaster for Oliver. Sorry, I was going to say you could enlighten us here. If Abyssal Persecutor is in play and it hits Oliver down to something like -5, and then he then kills his Persecutor, does Oliver instantly lose the game?
Yep. His life total will be below 0, and there's nothing changing that fact.
Yep, so... Well, he's got Liliana of the Veil next turn. I don't think he wants to play... Okay, so here we go. This is the fun stuff.
So it's really a matter of his deck plays in such a fashion where he's going to beat somebody down and he'll just kill his own guy.
Yeah, he's even got Liliana if he wants to, just minus Liliana. So he can even just take the hits from all these creatures. I mean, he probably won't, but it's not going to make a difference. Progenitus...
He can natural order right now.
Yeah, Progenitus is going to come down and it's not going to be able to do anything. And what is going on with two different arts? Do you see 2 different arts for natural order?
Yep, he's just showing off.
I think Oliver's thinking, how the hell am I going to win this match? Oh, he didn't go for it.
That's weird because a hymn to Turok blows him out.
I think he's seen 2 already. They're in the grave.
I don't know how many Jason plays, but if he rips that off the top, the game is just over. And now he's going to get more looks.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this deck from Jason because, particularly when I see a lot of the legacy in the league, it's so many Deathrite Shamans and there's not a hell of a lot of variety. but this is something he kind of brewed up himself, and it's kind of fun to watch.
I'm fairly certain I played him last year. Let me. I've taken the time to write down what people have played.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's cheating or something, but
Well, that's
just trying to like take like an analytical approach to what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's probably what separates the very good players from the average players. Okay, here we go. This is going to shock. This is going to be a shock for Oliver. Progenitus. Natural order into Progenitus, which doesn't have flying to check that Persecutor.
I actually did not record anything for Jason, so he wants Crater Hoof. He just wants to win real quick.
He does he realize he can't win? Huh? What happened there?
No, Persecutor only means that Jason can't win.
Oh, he can't win. Oh, okay. Yep. Well, that changes things.
Yeah, it was great patience by Oliver there. We were on the Progenitus line, which would have been really bad for him. But Oliver was on the I want to trick him into letting me swing one time kind of plan. And it worked.
Yeah, but actually, having read that Persecutor card properly, it doesn't save him from Progenitus. Progenitus would also be an answer he has to answer. I was reading it incorrectly as he can't lose the game. I believe it's a white card that does that, isn't it? And Platinum Angel, something like that.
Yep.
Okay, so that changes things. So Persecutor is basically just a 6/6 flyer for 4, with a downside for yourself.
He's a quick beater that you want to kill. I think in a situation where both players, utilize all the resources in their hand and that card comes down, it's a great way to close the gap and finish out the game. I don't necessarily know if it's strong against a combo-y deck like Elves. I have to imagine Jason has some form of efficient sweeper in his sideboard right now in a mono-black deck. But I've played against Oliver with his elf deck before. He's extremely crafty. He picks his spots. He thinks about what he's doing.
Yeah, he plays it incredibly well. I play Innocent Blood. I play a what was this? Perish. Ooh. Oh, Perish. Just as we say you do your homework on your opponents, it looks like Jason might have as well.
I think the green deck is just, or not the green, the black deck is just naturally solid. I mean, holy crap! Do you see what's in Oliver's hand?
Life Force was counter target black spell. Okay, so have both these players done their homework, but he can't actually play that Life Force. Yeah, he's shuffled it away.
That's some hot tech. Oh boy, what's going on? Oh, he's got the dream. So he doesn't show Wasteland, but Wasteland's going to be pretty decent here. Oh, now he drew that Rainforest.
And he gets a basic. I wonder if he's going to run out the symbiote first here because... Or the Death Right. Okay, he's going to get a Nettle Sentinel. Nettle Sentinel's not the best target for... Innocent
He's just
Blood.
really having that thing milk up some removal. That's strictly what's happening. Soak up removal, I should say.
Yeah, because he's got the... Now he can play the Wirewood Symbiote and the Deathrite Shaman or the Birchlaw Ranger and protect one of them. Look here, it's going to be a basic again. Yep. Fetching these basics though does mean that it cuts off one of the Deathrite Shaman options, which he's going to be able to fix if the Verdant Catacombs next turn. Wonder if he just goes for... No, he's going to go for Liliana first. I was going to say, does he go for the sweeper here?
Well, he's got...
Little does he know, but a plus here is going to be pretty good.
Oh, no!
I think a plus there and he would have almost had the game.
Well, we'll see what happens. Ooh, visionary. Timely.
Deathrite going to actually... Is there any instants or sorceries anywhere? Innocent Blood. Yeah, Deathrite's actually going to do some damage. First time.
Well, right now, in this situation... Oh, he's got that land.
Well, this is going to be good for... He'll play... he can't play the Birchlaw Ranger here because of the Wasteland. Otherwise he's going to cut himself off of black. And I'm just checking how many lands are in graves that he can rely on Deathrite for.
If he plays out another one of these 1-drops, this is just going to be...
Yeah, this is going to be a blowout.
This is gross. Oliver's going to be caught with his pants down a bit. Oh man, I would take totally different lines and not judge any Jason. I'm just.
Well, I don't mind this because if he pluses here, he has a chance to actually sucker him in for another creature.
Yeah, and it's not lethal to Lily.
Yeah, I don't mind that play actually. See if he can get one out of Jason, because it kind of incentivizes Oliver to play something else out, because then he'll have the damage on the board.
So here he's got the Heritage Druid, nothing in his hand with a Liliana there that he can't kill.
Yeah, so he has to play the Heritage Druid, otherwise it just dies. It gets discarded to Liliana anyway. So it's just a bit of extra value. I think. What's he doing here?
Into Turok.
Just to get 2 points. You can't redirect life loss with the Deathrite there.
So, does he play the Heritage Druid? He does. He's empty-handed. Perish is going to be gross.
We'll see if Liliana ticks up here for... Yep. Wipe that board.
Gross.
Still has 3 cards in and a Liliana. Gatekeeper of Malakir will check the next card. Cabal Therapy is pretty much useless now, so you'll probably... You can discard that.
Yep. So what can Oliver do from this position? He can play Dryad Arbor.
He can't...
So he purposely kept both of his wastelands open.
Yep, get rid of
because he wants to kill all the things.
It looks like we're going to game 3 in Legacy, I suspect.
Yeah, he's got Oliver stripped pretty down to bare bones at this point.
Him to 2x, not doing anything now. Yeah, so he's got a pretty solid game plan here, just to use the Him to 2x and Cabal Therapy, strip the hand, use Dark Confidant doesn't get in there. Just strip the hand and then go to work. Oh, he's got 2 perishes in the sideboard.
I think Elves is a matchup that he doesn't prefer.
He came prepared not to lose this one.
Yep, so is he getting in this turn?
I think he just missed it last time.
Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite him. I hate when things like that happen. I really dislike when we play in this league and we play an X-Mage or any of the the computer versions of the game, and simple things happen that you would never do in real life.
Yeah,
like, oh, I skipped my attack phase. It would never happen.
yeah. And what sort of makes that even worse is when your opponent sort of uses that, leverages an advantage out of that. But looking at the cards that Jason's got in hand, I just see no way that he loses this match from here. We're going to go to a game 3.
All right, Progenitus. Protection from everything except for, yeah, I don't know. There we go.
Okay, so we're going to have a game 3 now. And it just seems to be every time I watch Dark Confidant, they always just peel lands with that card.
You know, I'm really happy that they reached out to me for my permission to name a Magic card after me. It feels pretty good.
The Dark Confidant.
Indeed. So were you aware that Sakura Tribalber is Steve?
Steve, who?
Sakura Tribalber, the card, the 2-drop, sacrifice, get a basic land. His nickname is Steve.
Oh, no, I didn't know that one.
Well, now you do.
I knew Bob, and that was all.
Yep, Bob and Steve.
We'll see what... There's a bit of sideboarding going on here for the deciding match. Jason has picked up 2 points so far, so he's trying to turn that into 5.
I mean, I can't imagine that Oliver has a lot of knowledge of this deck, but I think when you're playing black, you have to know that there's some sort of a sweeper involved. So I wonder what his plan evolves into now. Maybe his cards didn't line up to defend against it in game 2, but he has to be well aware of it now.
Yeah, I find it interesting that he's playing those green sweepers. Like, I think surely he's seen Oliver. He must have watched previous videos and seen, oh, he's probably on out. But having said that, Oliver has been playing Death and Taxes for... what's that noise? Oh, was that that was your phone?
Me?
Okay, they're back in now. I just heard a phone ringing. Oh no, wait, it's somebody trying to call me. Nathan's trying to call me on Facebook.
Alright, Jason was on Mono Jeet. He decided to pass that for a hand that has a lot more gas. And Oliver has a Pendelhaven and a whole bunch of Duders.
Which he's kept. This would be for Dryad Arbor, I guess.
Dryad Arbor.
Yep.
Little ramp action. Never hurt anybody. Innocent Blood seems adequate here. Or Cabal Therapy for, like, Deathrite Shaman.
Cabal Therapy for Deathrite would be huge here.
But he wanted to kill the Duder. He went for the definitive play.
Oh, he still didn't get to do it.
He can still go for the Deathrite here.
See if he does. He's got 2 Cabals, so I think surely you fire one off here.
Balls of Steel. Do it.
And
Do
he's got the Wasteland.
Oh!
He's got the Wasteland for the Pendelhaven as well. I would have Wastelanded there because Oliver missed his second land drop.
Okay, we got a Catacombs there, so... And it would have been so exciting if he took him off a death right there. Just out of the blue. Boom.
Yeah, Cabal on death. But I mean, if he's not going to do it there, I wonder why he has the Cabals. Like, what does he wait? 3 cards in all of his hand. What is he waiting to name?
Alright, we're going for the Pendelhaven.
Yeah, return target elf. So Deathrite's actually protected by Wirewood Symbiote now.
Well, he's going to make him do it. Oh, no, he's not.
He's going to get the symbiote, so yeah, so he knows the play.
So in this situation with the Quirion Ranger, Oliver has access to quite a bit of mana. He's got the Fetch and the Dry Arbor and Graveyard. He's got some gas here.
Yeah, and those two, suddenly Jason's hand looks pretty bad with two Cabal Therapies and
He's got access to
G2.
3 mana.
Does he have? I'm sure the lands are going to. 1, 2,
So
3.
Green Sun here. So Oliver's probably afraid of that sweeper again. If he goes to the Green Suns right now, he's pretty much saying that you have it or you don't for that natural order. He's also probably afraid of a discard spell that would shred that natural order.
Yeah, little does he know Jason is so far away from. He'd need 2 cards in a row.
It's a big turn. Can dictate the flow of the rest of the game.
Yeah, I just think it would have been so much different had he. I mean, you know, obviously we have the benefit of seeing hands and stuff, but Cabal Therapy naming Deathrite and Wasteland that Pendelhaven at the start.
Yeah, I mean, it's a ballsy move.
I mean,
high ceiling, extremely low in the basement, kind of, floor.
Yeah, but I say this as a complete sort of Legacy noob. I've never played Black and Legacy before, and when I look at cards, I do not like Cabal Therapy. Like, I can understand it's good if you've got something like a Tuxian Probe, but in itself, I just don't like the card. And when I see it somewhere like now, I think to myself, what's the point in having it if you're not going to fire it off when somebody's got a full hand? Because now you can see Oliver's got 1 card in hand and he's got 2 Cabal Therapies. That 1 card could be anything. So that those 2 therapies are useless. Whereas at the start of the game, when he's got 4 cards in hand, when he's got 7 cards in hand, sorry, there's so many options. So that,
all right,
what's he?
What did he name?
Yeah, what does he name now? It's like a.
He has to do natural order.
Yeah, I think natural order is the only card he can name. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, because there's 4 mana on the board. Yeah, he names natural order and gets it.
Brilliant.
So he's kind of avoided the instant death, but he just needs to find something now. I think he still needs another black source.
Well, obviously, Oliver rips another natural order, right?
Well, natural order here would be... Does the Crater Hoof untap your creatures?
No.
Yeah, because a natural order here would not be that fantastic, because he'd have to tap 3 of his 4 creatures to cast it. Then Quirion Ranger will untap 1 of them, but he'd only be attacking with 2 creatures.
Glimpse of Nature is a total brick here.
Yeah, that would have been handy in the opening hand. So now we go to the old-fashioned.
So I think he's gonna. What is he? Bounce in the Dryad Arbor? What's his plan here? I'm curious.
Yeah, I think he's going to float green, play Glimpse, bounce the Dryad, replay the Dryad to get a card draw, and hope to hit another 1-drop. So he can draw 2 cards. Yeah, so now bounce the Dryad. Huh? Yeah, I'm lost. I'm not sure what he's trying to do here. Old-fashioned.
I'm trying to think of ways that Jason can claw out of this. His hand is just miserable right now. Okay, that's slightly better.
Yeah, I mean, one more draw here. He may as well just dump that GT here. One more land and suddenly he's in a pretty good position. He just has to pray that Oliver doesn't peel a natural order. There's one in the grave. I don't know how many he plays in his main deck.
And at this point, Oliver just would love creatures of any flavor. He wants to kind of cantrip with his Glimpse of Nature really bad. But right now there's a sense of inevitability coming from Oliver's side where his position is just so much better. JC needs to rip his sweeper really bad.
Well, I haven't seen... Okay, that'll do it. Vampire Nighthawk. That's got lifelink. I haven't seen anything in Oliver's deck that would... Looks like it could deal with a 6/6 flyer.
Except for a combo finish.
Yeah.
And Deathright's just going to keep on chewing on him.
How many instants and sorceries? Let's have a look. So we've got 1, 2. There's still 3. 2 to go now. So let's put him to 6. And 7. So there's 3. So he can do another 6 damage from...
Yeah, we're on a
Deathrite.
2-turn clock without the Vampire Nighthawk getting involved.
And the other thing he can do here is... okay, so he's drawn a Deathrite, so I wonder if he's just going to fire off Glimpse of Nature here. Jason's going to be able to... If he doesn't draw the land, he could fire up put the GT on the Nighthawk, get in with the Nighthawk, and then use the counters to get rid of the Ranger and the Arbor.
Yeah, that kind of stems the bleeding. He still desperately needs that life gain to fight around the Deathright's just going to town. So here we have a natural order.
Yeah. There's 3 creatures that it can... 1, 2... Quarian Ranger, return a forest to its untapped target creature. So he can he can actually do it this turn, but 1, 2, 3, 4, but it's kind of pointless. I think he waits to the next turn. The only thing that would be suspicious here is because he played that the cantrip. What's that card called? He played Glimpse of
Nature.
Yeah, so he's got all this mana available. If he doesn't play another creature to cantrip from it, Jason's going to be thinking, what's he got in his hand if he's not playing the creature out?
And Oliver's going for it right now. He's going to do something. Return the land, replay the land, 2 mana, 3 mana, 4 mana. He can cast it right now. He's not going to get the additional cantrip out the Glimpse of Nature because it's not a cast ability. It's a put onto the battlefield. But at that point, he can attack in for...
So 1, 2, 3...
Should be lethal.
3 creatures. Does the Craterhoof also have haste?
Yes.
Okay, so he's...
Craterhoof drops the hammer immediately.
4. Okay, here comes Natural Order.
He comes in the battlefield, gives everyone 5/5 and trample. He'll be swinging for 15 trample. Should be game.
Yep, and Jason sees it and concedes. So Oliver takes Legacy 2-1. And I am going to go and eat my lunch now. So thanks for joining me, Bob.
Yeah, have a great weekend and enjoy your lunch.
I believe I might be back shortly with Luca and Nathan, but I'll confirm that later on. Okay, thanks,
Gotcha.
Thanks for watching. See you later.